Yeah, so you're
Please.
characterizing this as an all-out regional war at this point. This is your characterization. This is your assessment. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, the reason why it is all-out war, I mean, think of Lebanon now. I mean, is this really a limited operation in Lebanon now? You have more than 1,000 civilians killed in almost 2 weeks. Many of them are children and women. More than 2,000 injured. You have 1.2 million Lebanese who have been displaced in 2 weeks. Actually, in terms of percentage and in terms of time, more displaced Lebanese than in Gaza. Hospitals are overwhelmed. I mean, Israel attacks not only the south, it attacks urban areas in the center of Beirut. Last night, as you said, 7 medics were killed. And the EU top foreign policy officials, Borrell, basically said today that this is really a violation of international humanitarian law, which is a war crime. Attacking southern Beirut, the Dahiya, people don't realize, one of the most, congested area in the world, not just in Lebanon. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of people live in a very small area. Whole buildings are being destroyed. So the reality is, and you have also military invasion in the south. Israel calls it a limited operation, incursion. It's not an incursion, it's an invasion, and we're going to see more and more, basically, escalation of this particular war. But the danger is now, this is becoming a direct, almost a direct war between Iran and Israel, and that's why this really could change the entire geostrategic landscape in the next few weeks and next few months.
What is your sense of what Israel could do in terms of retaliating against Iran after the barrage of ballistic missiles into Israel earlier this week? It has promised to do so. The United States has said stay away from nuclear assets. There's a very big fear in the energy world that oil facilities could be struck. What is your assessment right now of what could occur?
Well, I mean, I think, again, to come back, what we have learned in the past 12 months is that we really need to expect the worst. I think Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, and his coalition believe that this is a golden opportunity for Israel to really change the geopolitical landscape. Benjamin Netanyahu, as you said last week, he made it very clear. This is a turning historical point. He wants to make the Middle East in his own image. He wants to destroy not only the axis of resistance, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, and the Iraqis and the Syrians. He wants to go for the head of the axis of resistance, Iran. My fear is that Israel could attack not only the oil facilities, it could really attack the nuclear program. As to the Americans, basically a statement that they would not really support an Israeli attack on nuclear program of Iran, I don't take it very seriously, because Benjamin Netanyahu knows very well that Joe Biden is a lame duck, that this is really a very transitional period. Benjamin Netanyahu can do anything, and get away with it. I mean, look, think of the civilian casualties in Lebanon in the past, 2 weeks. Have you heard a single word where I am here in the UK or the United States, condemnation of the killing of civilians, children, women, and medics? And the reality is, I think what you have is that Benjamin Netanyahu is running the clock on Joe Biden because he wants his best ideological friend, Donald Trump, to recapture the White House, because Donald Trump has promised to give Benjamin Netanyahu what he wants. So this is why I fear the worst. And regardless, even if he does not attack Iran's nuclear program, if he attacks the oil fields, Iran will most likely respond on a much, much bigger scale. So the reality is, either way, the situation really, the future, the trend is escalation, more escalation, more escalation. And sadly and tragically, really, more civilians will be killed and more civilians will be displaced. This is really a catastrophic humanitarian situation, regardless of where we stand on the political arguments here.
Yeah. And, you know, with all of this, even with this escalation, there is hope that some kind of something will happen on the ceasefire front. You know, there is still hope. Fawaz Gerges, great to have you on. I appreciate your time and your insights. Ahead